Good morning, everybody. So, I want to share a few things with you guys this morning. Um, I intentionally did not get dressed, put on lipstick, makeup, calm down my side burns and different things because every now and then they need to be calmed because their spirit don't be right. I didn't do that this morning. The reason I didn't do that is because that's not how I want you to see me. I want you to see me for who I really am. I do a really great job of hiding behind makeup and lipstick and clothes. And I smile and I laugh and I talk and oh, I do it all. And I feel better, but that doesn't mean that I am better. So, no more hiding. This is me. This is who I am. Just want to be transparent with you guys. No more fake smiling. No more pretending. I haven't been feeling good. The holidays make me sad. And it's okay to be sad. And like I tell you guys all the time, we go down there, we fall out, but we got to get up. You can't stay there. You can visit, but you can't unpack and you can't live there. And so I was feeling yucky, and we were riding down the road, and a song came on, and it was William Murphy, and he was singing the song, and I don't even know the name of the song, y'all. I would be lying if I said I did, but in that song, he started saying like, God's gonna turn your situation around, and how God is, he's closest to us when we feel that he's the farthest away, and that he was going to turn our whole situation around. And I started thinking back. Remember how I tell you guys, always remember that we serve a capable and competent God, to go back and think about all the times that he's seen you through. And when he was talking about how God's going to turn it around, I started to think back like just a year ago. Just not, I mean, what feels like sometimes 5 minutes a year ago, when I was walking through that divorce, and it had rocked my world. It had shook me to the core, y'all. And I share things with y'all, but there are some things that I can't share with you because I'm still not healed from it, and I'm working on it, and I can't wait till I can tell y'all about it. But I had moved. I had lost the home that my mom had built for me and had left for me. The home that I had raised my children in, that they had ran up and down the halls, and it was just their bedrooms and everything. I literally, I had to walk away from everything. And my then husband and I purchased a new home, and we were starting over, but it was still not home to me. And I didn't even decorate. I mean, I was just, it wasn't home to me. There were so many emotional attachments to our home, that it was difficult. And so when we went through the divorce and I had to leave, I got this apartment, and I got the apartment that was close to home, to where I grew up. And I got one that was gated with security, and they had an officer that lived there, courtesy officer. I felt safe. And I could afford it. That was the important thing, that I could pay for it, because here again, I have 5 children. Yes, some of them were of the age, 18 and older, but they were my dependents, that they still depended on me to take care of them and to provide a place for them to stay too. And so We moved to this to this 3-bedroom apartment, all 6 of us. And it was hard, y'all. It was so hard. And I was in therapy, and I was talking to my therapist about the kids in school, and she was saying that they had been through so much change that they couldn't take another blow, and that I couldn't move them from their schools. And so I'm like an hour from their schools. Like, how am I going to pull this off? How am I going to do this? I tried it, y'all. I did, and wasn't working. So I moved in with my best friend. And she loves me and I love her, and we're it's like blood couldn't make us closer. I moved in with her and her 2 girls. I know y'all hear me talk about Angela all the time. She is just such a beautiful soul. And she opened up her home to us, and we moved there. But because it wasn't home to us, and because even though, my kids had their own bedroom there, it was nice, y'all. She did everything for us. But because it wasn't home to us, Michaela started to stress out a lot, and her seizures are triggered by stress. So my baby started having up to 9 seizures a day because she was suffering from the divorce and being separated from her stepfather, the life that we knew. We had moved 3 times in 1 year. And now, she's tiptoeing around because she wants to be comfortable and relaxed, but she can't be comfortable and relaxed because it's not her room. And that's hard for children. So my baby was having up to not anywhere from 9 to 13 seizures a day. Mind you, I have to work and take care of them. I was working downtown, and when the school would call, whatever I was doing, I would have to put it down and I would have to go to the school. Sometimes when I would get to the school, she would still be seizing. They'd have her hooked up to the IVs in the ambulance, and it was so hard because I felt like it was all my fault. I felt like it was because of the choices that I made, that my baby was going through all that stuff. And it was hard to watch, to feel helpless, and to feel like there was nothing that I could do to change it and to help it, because I was doing everything that I knew how to do just to breathe and just to survive and just to be able to get in the car and get them where they needed to be and to just go to work and just to smile. It took so much just to smile and say, it's okay, we're okay. And getting in that car and the time that it would take to get from work to the school, I would beat myself up so bad. And I would get to the school and my baby would be completely out of it. She wouldn't even remember all the stuff that had happened because of the seizure, And and finally, because God is who he is and he's so merciful and he's so good, the people on my job allowed me to work from home so that I could be closer to her and closer to the school, because I was getting charged every time she got in that ambulance and went to the hospital. And I don't know, for many of you, when you have seizures, there's nothing that they can do. There's nothing that the hospital can do. When you go to the hospital, they just sit you there, they monitor you, and they send you home. And, if you have epilepsy, you have seizures, there's really nothing that they can do. So it would just be a blank trip, because you would just go and they'd release you after 30 minutes or 45 minutes and you go home, but you still got this ambulance bill, right? And so they let me work from home, y'all. So, Yeah. So this is what my mind is thinking about as this song is playing. God's gonna turn it around. But when you're in it, oh, you can't see it. You don't feel that. You feel hopeless. You feel helpless. You feel like, when is my day coming? Like, when is enough, God? Like, what is it that you want me to learn, and help me to get it fast, because I'm tired, you know? And I started working from home, and I was able to work in coffee shops that would allow me to connect to their Wi-Fi, and I would be able to do my work, and be able to do phone conferences, and be able to talk to my boss, and be able to do everything that I would normally do in the office. I was able to do from home. And then I would sit in the parking lot in my truck, and I would connect to my hotspot, and I would work, because it got so bad till I wouldn't even leave the school, because I knew that by the time I got to the coffee shop and set up, there was a good chance that she would get sick. And I know that by now somebody's thinking, why did you just not take her out of school? Well, she had already gone through so much, and she didn't want to be out of school. She just wanted to be normal, and she just wanted to be with her friends, and she just wanted to be like everybody else. And I couldn't take that from her. I just couldn't take it from her. And so I would sit in the parking lot of the school, and I would work in the truck from a hotspot. And I would still do all my meetings, and I would still connect and do my Zoom and everything. And I got dressed, and I put on that makeup and the lipstick and everything, and nobody knew that anything that was going on. The school didn't know. Most of my friends didn't know. Nobody knew, but close family. But like, I made it look easy, and I made it look good, but I was dying on the inside. It was so hard, because I'm trying to take care of my babies, and I'm trying to make them comfortable, all while dying on the inside. Because when you go through a divorce, literally a part of you dies. It's like a funeral. It's like you grieve that relationship. You grieve the person. It doesn't matter if it was a bad marriage. It doesn't matter if you were abused. It doesn't matter if it was not peaches and cream, because people will look at you and they're like, well, if it was bad and you had to leave, like, why would you even care about it? You have a life with this person. You had dreams, you had ambitions, you had goals, you had things you wanted. And when you're in a situation, you always think that it's going to get better. And so then there's the disappointment of it didn't get better. There's the disappointment that it's over, and you have to start over, and you have to let it go. And it's hard. It's hard. And so while trying to take care of my babies, I moved in with my best friend. My adult children, who are still super dependent on me, are now living in the apartment by themselves, taking care of the apartment bills so that I can be in closer to school for the babies. I felt like I had abandoned my other children, but I had to do what I had to do to take care of the babies. I was so messed up, guys. I was so messed up. But the lipstick and the hairdos and the clothes, that was like my armor. It was my protection. It was what kept me from letting the world know that I'm not okay, And I was dying. And I remember that I was in the parking lot of school, and one of the principals came and knocked on the window of the truck, and he said, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And I remember trying so hard to just muster up a smile and say, "Yes, I'm okay. Everything's wonderful. Everything's well." It looks like it took every fiber, it's like when he walked away from the truck, I literally broke. Like, I just burst, like I just exhaled and just died. Just fell out because it took everything for me to tell him I'm okay. I'm just trying to make sure that Michaela's okay before I leave the school, you know? And finally, they came and they said, we don't want you working in the truck. We don't want you working in the coffee shop. We're going to let you work here. They gave me an office in the school, in the library. That was God. And what I'm saying to you is that even when you don't see it, he's working. Even when you don't feel it, he's working. Even when you feel lost and alone and abandoned, he's working. He blessed me to be able to work from home. Then he blessed me to be able to work on campus. So now when Michaela has a seizure, I can go to the classroom. No more ambulance rides. I can take her home. Everything's fine, right? I started being able to help her with her assignments because she was failing everything because she was out of school more than she was in school. So me being on campus gave her peace. She wasn't as stressed. The seizures were reduced. Yes, I was able to do my work. I was able to monitor her, do her work. I was able to be there for my other daughter, because when you have a child with a disability, sometimes the other children feel neglected, and that's hard to keep a balance. And God did that for me. He did that for me, and he did that for my baby. In December, I had to end up moving back to the apartment, okay? Because the seizures were so bad. And it wasn't that Angela was bad. It wasn't that the house was bad. It wasn't that our situation was bad. It was that she was, when you go through something, your kids go through something too. Everything that we do affects them. So the divorce, she was grieving too, okay? And she was going through things too. And then there was school, and then she was failing. So the therapist, her therapist, my therapist, her doctor, we have to get her back to where she's comfortable. So now, because we've moved, the girls have situated and laid out this apartment to accommodate them. And so now we're going back and invading their space. So now I'm sleeping in the bed with my 20-year-old daughter in a full-size bed. Michaela and Abigail are sharing a room. And I know that some people go through worse. I know that there are other people that are living in worse conditions. I'm not naive. I'm not saying that I'm too good to do that. I'm saying that this was an entire lifestyle change for us. We went from a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home to an apartment, sharing 1 bathroom, sharing beds. It was hard, okay? We're back there. There's no Christmas tree. There's no nothing. I'm in the middle of trying to purchase a home for us. And at the same time, trying to work on myself and my sanity and keep myself together, trying to keep the kids together, trying to keep everything together, going up 3 flights of stairs with groceries. And somehow we got the idea that you could put all the groceries on a broomstick and carry them up the stairs instead of making multiple trips. And we did that. And we made the best of it. You know, in the worst of the situations, we always found a way to laugh and make the best of it, guys. And that's what you got to do. You got to sometimes just laugh and make the best of it. No matter what the situation is, no matter what you're going through, sometimes you just got to laugh at it, right? and we would stay up and we would talk, and it was actually just what I needed to share that bed with Maddie, because I didn't need to be alone, right? And she helped me and she comforted me, and She wiped my tears and she encouraged me, and we roughed it. We roughed it out together, and it made us closer as a family. And guys, as I listened to that song and they said, God's going to turn it around, and I was thinking about all that stuff that we had gone through. You know, in that song, some of the things that I just shared with you, I literally almost jumped out of my car when I started thinking about how far God had brought us. Y'all, from the apartment to a 4-bedroom home, house, brick, that I purchased by myself after losing 2 homes and one that meant everything to me. And being able to have my kids in their own bedrooms, in their own beds, in their own home. When I thought that my life was over because I was going through a divorce, when I thought I wasn't going to make it without him, when I thought that I couldn't go on, that I was this failure, that I had failed my children, that everything was out of control and everything was falling apart. It didn't fall apart. It fell in place. It fell in place, and God worked everything out in his timing. He turned it all around. My baby goes to school now on her own by herself. Her seizures have reduced to 1 every 2 weeks, if that. She's able to do things that she couldn't do at first. You know, Abigail is learning how to drive, and Madison has her own apartment with her brother. So being in that apartment when I left them, it actually helped them to be independent and to learn how to budget and manage and save and pay bills. Royale is 23. She has her own apartment now. And it's like, I thought I had abandoned them. I thought that I was letting them down. The whole time, God was working on them. He was working on me. He was working on multiple things at one time. My kids were actually, like, that's what they needed to be pushed out of the nest. That's what they needed to help them to be able to do the things that I had taught them to do, you know, trained them to do. Because that, as a parent, we all want our kids to be successful, self-sustaining, productive citizens, good people. And that's, in that divorce, it taught us all how to do that. I didn't even know how to do that because I was so codependent on my ex-husband. And God taught me that the only person that I need is him. He's the only person that I cannot survive without. And my kids are okay. And I'm okay. And he not only blessed me with a new home that I purchased on my own, by myself. I never thought that I could do that. I never thought. People look at me and they think, oh, she's so beautiful. She's so smart. She's so confident. She's, so successful. But I never felt that way about myself until now. Until going through what I walked through. It's like when I walked through that divorce, it's like God stripped all of the facades, all of the masks, all of the things that I hid behind, everything that even in my kids, because I lived my whole life for them. Everything that I did for them. I didn't even have a life. Like, all I did was, I was a mom, and that's all I ever knew how to do, was be a mom. And all I ever saw myself doing was being a mom. And I was so attached to them that I was keeping them from being who they were supposed to be, who God called them to be. Because I couldn't let go of them, because if I let go of them, then where would that leave me? Who would I be without them? And through this, God stripped me of all that. And he showed me who I was. And he showed me what I could do. And he showed me myself the way that he sees me. And guys, I'm not all the way healed. I'm not all the way there. I have a long way to go. But just the fact that he took time to do that for me, he can do it for you. And while I was in the process, I thought he was punishing me. I thought that I had done something terrible. Like, why are you punishing me? Why am I going through this? But he wasn't punishing me. He was loving me perfectly and placing me where he could use me and where I could see him and he could see me. I couldn't see anything in that situation and in that marriage. It was so painful. But he moved everything out of the way. He took everything. He literally took everything. I'm not telling everything. I started over with nothing. With nothing. He took everything to give me more than I could have ever imagined. And when you let go, and I know it's hard, but when you let go, I promise you, I promise you, when you let go, you are going to be introduced to an amazing God, a loving Father who is going to open up a whole new world for you. If you just let him. And it's hard and it's painful. And I know that it hurts. And I know that you feel alone. But he is there. And there are people who love you. And they care for you. And they are cheering for you. And they are rooting for you. And it's going to be okay. But you got to hold on. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to die. I felt like I was worth more dead to my kids than I was alive. And that's how much damage was done over the years in bad relationships, in attaching my value to people and trying to figure out why he wouldn't love me. What's wrong with me? Why can't he see my value? Why can't he see my worth? I was killing myself trying to show somebody else who I was in my worth. And I'm not just putting all this in one marriage because I was married twice. So, but I never healed from one before I started another. Take time to heal, guys. Take time to find yourself. Take time to love yourself. It's gonna happen. And I know that this video is long. And I know that it's not normal. It's probably unorthodox. And I needed to let you see me. I needed you to see me because I want you to see you. I want you to see that you can make it, that you are going to be okay, and that you are not alone, that you're beautiful, even if you can't see it, that you're smart, that you're intelligent, that you're gifted, that you have so much promise and so much purpose on the inside of you, that if you hold on and stop looking at other people to validate you, stop looking for your value in other people and things. They're just things, guys. It doesn't matter if I was in an apartment. I was still Danielle. No matter where I was still Danielle, and he was still God. It doesn't matter what you're in. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You are a person. You have needs. You have desires. You have want. Like, don't allow that to poison your mind against who you are. You are not what you do. You are a human being, not a human doing. Yes, we mess up. Yes, bad things happen to us. Yes, we're in bad situations. Yes, we're in painful situations. Yes, we go through things. Yes, but that is not who we are. And it took losing everything for me to just see Danielle, just to see me, you know? Just to see what everybody else sees. Just to see what God sees. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you. Thank you for listening, because this is long, it's 30 minutes. But I promise you, God is going to turn it around. And even when you don't see it, he's working. And even when you can't feel it, he's working. And you're not being punished. You're being positioned for greatness. You're being positioned for purpose. God is just shaping you. He's molding you. He's cutting some things off. He's trimming some things. He's pulling some things back. And he's stripping some things off of you so that you can be who he called you to be, and that you can see yourself the way that he sees you. And because there are certain people that can't go where you're going, there are certain people that can't handle your anointing, there are certain people who can't handle who you are. They don't have the capacity to love you. They don't have the capacity to go where you're headed. They don't have the integrity and the character to be on the platforms that you're going to walk on. They don't have the mindset to be able to handle the blessings that God wants to give to you. They can't handle being blessed. They can't handle being a millionaire. They can't handle you being in the front and them being in the back. They can't handle supporting you in your season because they're so focused on being in their season. So there's some people that God is taking away, and he's moving them out so that he can get you in front, so that he can get you where you need to be. And I promise you that all that pain, all that hurt is going to be so worth it. You don't see it now, but it's going to be so worth it. And you haven't even started to live. I was trying to take my life, and I had never even lived. Because I lived for everybody but me. I lived to please everybody but myself. I was a people pleaser, a codependent people pleaser. God wants you to live for you and for him. So he's taking some people and he's moving them. He's taking some jobs. He's taking some homes. He's taking some cars. He's taking a lot of stuff and getting it out of the way so that he can put you in position to receive everything that he has for you. It's his good pleasure to bless you. He wants to bless you. But some people can't be connected to that. They can't handle it. And again, I love you. And it's okay. I promise you, it's going to turn around. It's going to work in your favor. Thank you for allowing me to be transparent. And thank you for allowing me to share my heart. I love you.